Right, welcome to another video on the channel. So today we're just going to be chatting with the Rugby Guru. You guys, I'm pretty sure, are familiar with him because obviously he helps me with a lot of stuff, and he should have been in a video either coming up or in the past. I don't know when this video is going to be uploaded. So yeah, basically today we're going to be just chatting about rugby in general, Six Nations, a lot of stuff has gone on like the Curry Cup and so on. So yeah, how are you, Johan?
No, I'm good, Andrew. Thanks for having me on your show, man.
No, that's all right. So yeah, obviously we're going to be drinking today as well. So what's your chosen drink to kick things off?
Ah, the usual vodka and Monster.
Okay.
Perfect combination.
Yeah, and I'm on the whiskey, so should be fun. Should be fun. Okay, so
Yeah,
obviously you did the live stream of Curry Cup. Was it last weekend now? I think it was. And you actually
yes.
did really, really well. If you guys haven't seen that, he got 24,000 views last time I checked anyway. So very, very amazing. Better than me, actually. So, yeah, what did you think of the game? Gutted? Because you're a Sharks fan, aren't you?
Yeah, man. It was a game of emotion and desperateness, and yeah, it had everything that you wanted in a Curry Cup final. That extra time vibe. The game swifting from the Bulls to the Sharks and then back to the Bulls. It's just amazing, man. And we even had lightning as well.
Yeah, I saw.
So the game got suspended for a time.
Yeah.
So the perfect Curry Cup, but the game itself or the competition itself, I would say, was a little bit disappointing in the end. I know a lot of people blame COVID-19 for the lack of game and those sort of things. But yeah, the competition overall a little bit disappointing, but the Curry Cup final lived up to the expectations. Really
Okay.
got it.
Yeah, no, I was watching that. I had your commentary in sync with the actual match, and obviously you muted the match then listening to you. You were very entertaining, I gotta say. Like, I think you get a lot of comments saying how good you are at commentary. Have you noticed?
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, there's obviously some pros and cons to doing the commentary if you're a Sharks fan watching a final.
Yeah.
I did get some people complaining towards the end when the Bulls were losing. They said I did get a little bit one-sided to the Sharks.
Yeah.
I didn't see it that way. I think it's just the Bull supporters that got sour at the moment. But yeah, I enjoy it. It's one of my other passions to do.
Yeah. So if a career came along then for a commentator, would you go for it? Or would you
Oh
rather
yeah.
or would you rather stay as a video game designer?
Well, look, if I could do both, I wouldn't mind, but obviously games, especially rugby gaming, has been one of my um, true hobbies in life. I mean, growing up as a small kid, playing Jana Lomu rugby, like I was living myself into it. And I think the commentary came with that
Mm,
because when I played as a small kid, I used to do my own commentary. And imagine, Jana Lomu rugby was well outdated and the players got old. So you would imagine those players being the current ones and
mm.
then doing your own commentary and stuff. So I think it goes hand in hand. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing either of the two.
Okay. Because I remember I tried commentary, was it back in September time? My only issue that I struggle with all that stuff is the names. Like I'm always like and passes to the winger and number 8, number 10. Like I can never remember the names, but you seem to get that spot on. Is there like a technique that you have about that?
Well, look, it helps when you know your local competition and your players, and you've been following rugby for a long period of time.
Mm,
But obviously, you will get those games where you don't know certain players. Like I think tomorrow I'm doing a live stream on Bristol Bears versus Sales Sharks.
yeah,
So I will have to go and study the names beforehand,
yeah,
and I might get into a situation where I'll have to say the winger or
yeah.
the center or something. But I'm looking forward to it. It's a whole new experience,
Mm.
and it will be fun to do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds good. So next topic I'm going to talk about is the SLAR. So for those of you watching, the SLAR is the Professional South American League, and they recently got a few new additions. So, Johan, do you want to talk about the additions?
Yeah, man. We've now heard that the Corinthians have been replaced by the Cobras. So that is the Brazil
Alcohol
team
kicking in.
franchise. Yeah, it's kicking in. But anyway, it is the Brazil franchise, the new franchise for them. Little bit gutted because Corinthians have become very close to my heart. You just get used to a name, and now suddenly it's been changed again.
And it's not. It's quite a terrible logo as well. I'll put the
Yes,
logo on screen now, but yeah, literally, I think it looks kind of like an insurance company.
yeah, it tends to go a lot to the Crusaders' new logo. I don't know if you've seen the Crusaders logo in Super Rugby.
I have seen it. They've updated it, have they?
Yeah, it's more or less in the same trend. So
Let's have a look.
I'm not a big fan of it, and obviously the green looks nice because it does resemble the Cobras. I know you're not a big fan of that.
Oh, so it's like the C shape, isn't it? Red and black.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So you do get that resemblance there. So is it better than the previous one? One could argue and say no freaking way.
yeah.
Like I say, you get used to one franchise and then to get replaced. Same with the Jaguares who's coming
Yeah.
in the place of the Argentinian franchise. So yeah, some interesting times for the SLAR.
Yeah, but then surely they could have kept the other two teams. They could have kept, well, Corinthians probably not, because I know the Corinthians squad is going into Cobras. But the likes of K Boss was the other Argentinian squad. They could have just kept them and then had Jaguares as well. I don't understand why just scrap them.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the players that's available for the teams.
Mm,
Question is, will Corinthians and Cobras be able to exist in one environment? Will there be enough quality players for them to actually be competitive enough rather than just working together and
yeah,
getting rid of the one? Same with the Aguares coming in now. I don't think Kaibos would have had enough player depth along with the Jaguares because a lot of these Jaguares that used to play in Super Rugby, I know a lot of people is going to think it's the same team, but it's actually not the same team
mm,
because a lot of them has left for Europe. A lot of them playing in the top 14, I think even in the Pro 14 and the English Premier League. So
yeah,
I don't think player depth is enough to have all those teams.
yeah. No, it's a bit gutting though, because I actually had a T-shirt made because obviously I wanted the official kit of Corinthians. But obviously, being in the UK, they won't send stuff over like that. It would cost way too much money. So I got one unofficially made with their logo printed on it, and now they don't exist anymore. So yeah, thumbs up to me.
Man. Yeah, well, a collector's edition. You won't get
Yeah,
another one, man.
yeah, sell on eBay. Yeah.
Yeah, put it on eBay. You'll make some cash in 20, 30 years' time.
So okay, next topic then, Major League Rugby. We're not going to go too much into this one because we're not exactly experts on Major League Rugby. We just kind of follow it, but briefly. But obviously, as we know, certain teams have pulled out now due to COVID, and some have been relocated. I think the last I heard was Toronto was relocated to Atlanta. Do you have an adopted Major League Rugby team?
Not really. I haven't seen enough of the MLR to really say I've got one that stands out. I think I did put something on my group about the kids and stuff, and
Mm.
there were a couple that stood out. I just can't remember which one I picked. So I think if there's one that comes to my mind, it's probably the Legion. I
Ah,
think it is
San Diego Legion, yeah.
San Diego Legion. So they look like a pretty decent team, and then also the newly formed Guiltinis, I think it is.
Yes,
They're
yeah.
looking absolutely fantastic with all the players that they're buying. So probably I don't like losing, so I'll probably go with the Guiltinis. Let's just hope they gel together.
Okay,
How
so yeah,
about you?
Glory supporter then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was actually say, is it Giltinis or Giltinis? It's named after a cocktail, which I'm not exactly a fan of. It could have been called something better, but it's an interesting name and an interesting logo. So I originally did pick them, but I remember when the Major League Rugby originally started, I think it was called Pro Rugby, and it only had 6 sides. And if I remember rightly, I was supporting San Diego because they had this really nice blue and orange kit. And I know it's a really stupid thing to do, but I kind of judge my teams on kits sometimes. I'm like, they look professional. I'll support them instead, you know? So it was originally, yeah, San Diego Legion originally, but probably LA now. But I don't understand the name. The name doesn't really make much sense being named after a cocktail, but I'm pretty sure there's a few as well, isn't there? Austin Gill Ronnies, I think it's called. So
Yeah,
that's another one
there's
named
one
after
of
a
them
drink.
as well.
Another drink, that isn't it? I think.
Well, it seems like the Americans like their drinks, eh?
Hmm.
Hmm.
So yeah, we'll move away from Major League Rugby then. Let me swallow the whiskey. Yeah. So not on topic was the Pro 14 and the newly formed Rainbow Cup. So obviously, with you being South African, I think everybody's going to want to know your opinion on how they're going to get on. Let's be honest. Try not to be too biased and try not to offend too many small supporter clubs.
No, I won't. Look, I've got plenty of respect for all the competitions around the world. So obviously each competition's got their own speciality and stuff. So I mean, having a look at Leinster and the Ospreys, Munster and Ulster, those teams that's really stood out in the Pro 14, and when I compare it with the South African teams that we've got here, obviously the Bulls have been resurrected somehow. A lot of money has been pumped into their system. They've got some really good quality players again, and they're looking pretty strong. So from a South African point of view, I would say probably the Bulls should be the one team that's really gonna compete in his first year, I think.
Mm.
As a Shark supporter, I would love to say the Sharks are gonna thump every team that they play against, but to be a realistic, we formed this new alliance with the American company, and then also I think it's Rockin or something.
Okay.
So there's plenty of money that's going to be pumped into the Sharks, but currently for the Rainbow Cup, I don't think we will have that players. So I would say if there's one team, it would be the Bulls. I don't think the Stormers got plenty of issues, mismanagement, really just things not gelling quite nicely there.
Yeah.
In the Lions, young, inexperienced side, with a few old heads. So I doubt that they will really cause any problems. So from a South African point of view, go Bulls.
So when it comes to Leinster versus Bulls, you think Bulls are going to beat Leinster? Do you?
They could. I mean, if you just look at some quality names, I'm not going to go in depth with the squad, but you got World Cup winners in Dwayne Vermeulen, Trevor Nyakani, got some quality lock forwards coming through. You got Marco van Staden, Marcel Coetzee,
Mm.
Hougaard's coming back to the Bulls, scrum half, and obviously Johan Goosen, another Springbok at fly half, and then in the mix some other players as well. So yeah, I think they could easily beat Leinster on a South African ground. I think it
So
would be a bit
away.
away. It might be tougher because the Bulls tend to not travel that well.
Mm.
So I don't know, 50-50. Play at Leinster. It's the Aviva, right? So play at the Aviva.
No, the Aviva is the Irish stadium. I
Ah,
think it's
shit.
the RDS is where Leinster plays. I
Ah,
may have
okay.
offended a lot of people if I got that wrong, but I think I'm gonna just double check that on myself.
Yes,
If
just
I
double
get that,
check it for us.
I think it's the RDS. Yeah, it's the RDS. Thank
Ah,
God for
okay.
that. Okay, yeah.
So 50% if they play there, it should go to Leinster.
Mm.
And if they play in Loftus, in listen to myself, in Bloemfontein, in Pretoria, then I think the Bulls will win it. Neutral ground, Bulls.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've spoken enough about the Pro 14 because I know we have a lot of neutral followers. So we'll continue on to our next topic. Has the alcohol kicked in with you yet? Or not really?
No, not
No?
really.
I'm now debating whether I carry on drinking my expensive whiskey or move to the cheap stuff. I think I'm going to move to the cheap stuff because I don't really want to be wasting. So in this week, then we also had it was on a BT Sports show. Let me just open this before and that was I can never say his name. Is it Hugo or is it Hugo? Hugo Monnier? Monnier, yeah.
I know him as Hugo Monnier. So
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah,
yeah.
basically he mentioned in BT Sports rugby show that he thinks there should be a rugby video game made to the quality of the Jonah Lomu game, which you were speaking about earlier. What do you make of that?
Hey man, it's tough. I mean, if you consider Jonah Lomu, rugby was way back in the day, and if you look at the core, it was fun, it was exciting, but rugby wasn't as complicated then as it's now. So if you have to really look at a game in the same line of being realistic, probably say Rugby 08 should be that game everybody's making a fuss about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't say EA has changed a lot since Rugby 08. They've microtransact everything that they do. And personally, I wouldn't say EA Sports are the right company to develop a new game if there should be a new game. Because, I mean, Wicked Witch, you can argue, has come the closest to replicating Rugby 08.
Yeah.
And then we all know the other developers, what they've done.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go into much detail on that for now. So yeah, rugby do need a proper rugby game. I just feel the current group is not on standard, not on scratch. But yeah, we'll see what the future holds. What's your opinion on that?
My opinion would be EA Sports, obviously Rugby 08 was amazing. And apparently, this is a rumor. I can't hold it up saying it's accurate or not, but a lot of people have been saying EA Sports actually own the company now that the Jonah Lomu game was originally made by. But I'm pretty sure that company that made that Jonah Lomu game doesn't exist anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that is true. And there's rumors now that EA Sports may be making a rugby game, apparently, according to a lot of fans, and they're trying to like spam Instagram accounts and stuff. Me personally, I can't see it happening, only because it's been what 2007, so that would be 15 years now since Rugby 08 came out. That makes me feel bloody old, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know.
15 years ago. I was what? What was I? 15 years from my age now. I was probably about, no, 8 or 9, 10 maybe. Yeah, something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
old are you?
time flies, man. I'm 32 now, so it would have been 17.
Okay.
So yeah, the thing with EA Sports, like I say, I know Codemasters have been bought by them, so they are part of the EA, and Codemasters were the ones that developed Jonah Lomu Rugby. But
Okay.
I wouldn't say they specialized in the rugby game, because I know Codemasters used to make this car game. Can't remember what it was.
Formula One, isn't it?
No, it was, what was it called?
They do
Can't
make
remember.
Formula One. Do they make Formula One now? No?
I don't know.
Codemasters games.
Yeah, while you're searching that, I know they did that World Rally thing in the past.
Yeah,
and
so
that was
no, go on.
That was their solid game. I mean, that's the game everybody saw Codemasters for, not Jonah Lomu Rugby.
So they make the Formula One games, the Dirt games. Is that the ones you're referring to? So like Dirt 5, Dirt 4.
Yeah, it's way back. PS1, I think PS2.
Okay, we're going that far back. Okay.
Yeah, that's the last time I think I played Codemasters game. They were known for that, not so much for the rugby. But do you think that they would really consider making a rugby game? Because I mean, they're dropping, or there's rumors that they're dropping the NHL, which
Mm,
sold a hell lot of copies for them.
mm,
Not, but not enough for them. So in a rugby gaming landscape, I can't see them making a game unless it's for passion and not money.
yeah.
So yeah, EA Sports needs to stand for it what it is. I mean, they were considered the worst company in the world, so that's only the reason why I'm so negative towards them.
Mm.
I mean, they make good games, but they microtransact the hell out of it. So
So
that's
do you
why
want
I'm not
to,
an EA fan.
for the viewers, do you want to back up what you just said though about them being the worst company in the world? What do you mean by that? How did you get that?
Well, look, I went and searched to see whether the rumors are correct about them making another rugby game. And as I typed and searched, there was one pop-up that asked whether EA Sports, or not EA as a company, I think it was not, I have to correct myself whether it's EA Sports or EA.
Mm.
But the question was, are they considered the worst gaming company in the world? And I clicked on that and it said, yes, according to this study, they were considered as the worst company. So that's not just me saying it. It is a worldwide survey
Mm.
done on being the worst company in the gaming industry.
Okay, that
Yeah.
is interesting. Okay, so I think we've spoken about enough things off topic because the main focus obviously is this weekend Six Nations. Now, depending on when this video is uploaded, I don't know whether it'll be on the Friday or the Saturday, so I'm not too sure. But there might be games already being played. But we're basically going to preview the whole tournament in general. I'm going to share my screen. Six Nations. Okay, so we're going to look at Wales' squad first. Obviously, me being Welsh, we have to do that. So, any names that stand out there to you looking at the squad?
Let's see. Ken Owens, I rate him as a really good hooker. I think he's right up there amongst the best of the best at the moment.
Mm,
Um, they've got some really good locks. Jake Ball, Adam Beard,
mm,
Alwyn Jones. We know Will Rowlands is making quite a big name for him now.
yeah.
Josh Navidi, Aaron Wainwright, Faletau, Tuperik. Just to get back to Faletau and Tuperik and Navidi, can probably be considered as some of the best flankers in world rugby
Mm,
when they're on form. So I know Navidi's just coming back, and Faletau has been struggling with injury over the past couple of seasons. And obviously, Tuperik has been phenomenal. I mean, he's one of my all-time favorites. So I'm looking forward to that forward pack. Certain players, Tuperik, Alwyn Jones, Ken Owens, those are the three that really stand out in the forwards.
mm.
When you go to the back line, Gareth Davies, I rate him higher than Thomas Williams. I know a lot of people would say Thomas Williams is probably better than Gareth Davies.
I
I
would, yeah,
prefer,
I disagree with you there. See, I think
yeah,
Thomas Williams is the better player.
all right. But I do like the way Davies play. And then obviously Dan Bigger's got some competition from Callum Sheedy.
Mm,
But I mean, Dan Bigger is a quality player, and with his experience, you're going to need him,
mm.
especially now that Wales are struggling quite a bit. Is it Pivak or Pivak?
Pivac, yeah, Wayne
Yeah,
Pivac it
so
is, yeah.
Wayne Pivak is struggling to get these players to gel at the moment, and I think certain key players, but I'll get back to those guys in a bit. But Dan Bigger, I think, still quality fly off. Obviously, Jonathan Davies, one of Davis or Davies. Which one do
Davis.
you prefer?
Yeah, so
All right,
all these names are all Davis. Kind of like my
all
last
right.
name is Harris, not Harry's.
Yeah. So Jonathan Davis, obviously world class.
Yeah.
I know Nick Tompkins have come through quite nicely in the last two seasons. I mean, George North is getting some form again.
Mm.
So quality player there. Josh Adams obviously not available for his first two games.
I know he had a gender reveal party. Did you see it?
Yeah, I heard about it, and
Yeah,
that's a big loss for Wales. So
yeah.
at least having George North there
And
and
you got
Liam
Reece Sammet.
Williams.
Reece Sammet as well.
Yeah, Reece Ahmed is a very young, good player coming through, and he's going to probably make the same name that George North did
Mm,
over the years. But I mean, in Liam Williams, Lee Halfpenny, and George North, you got three experienced back three.
mm,
If they decide to go with that combination, and then obviously Jonathan Davis and Gareth Davies and Dan Bigger all got a lot of caps behind their name. So
mm.
experience, I would go with experience for this tournament because they're struggling. And then surely you got to have Alwyn Jones and a Falatau and a Tuparik with Jake Ball and Ken Owens. And then I don't know who you prefer at the props, but I mean Wyn Jones, I think, is one of the informed prop forwards.
Yeah, with props, I'm not too fussed on, to be honest with you, because I know Wales's
Mm,
scrummaging is kind of like 50-50 at times. My main issue
mm,
is the attacking, where I've noticed we are really, really lacking when it comes to attack now. And I noticed in the autumn, Callum Sheedy, personally, I think he looked better than Dan Bigger. My just my personal opinion. And it's kind of a worry. Although I think Alan Wynne Jones is a good player, I also do feel we need to start finding captain material fast before this next Rugby World Cup. Because the moment Alan Wynne Jones picks up any injury now, I kind of feel like that it could be potentially career ending for him, you know? And we won't
yeah,
have anybody backup. So we need to find somebody soon. To me, starting Callum Sheedy is an obvious one over Dan Bigger, depending on hmm. It depends obviously on that first game against Ireland. Obviously, you probably will start with Dan Bigger because you want experience, like you said. But
mm,
if Dan Bigger doesn't perform, I do feel we need to get Callum Sheedy stepped up. That's not even a word, but step Callum Sheedy up and get him game time and get him kind of gelled in the squad. Like when we had Gareth Anscombe until his injury, we looked really, really good. And then we had Dan Bigger as the backup, but we have never found a proper backup since.
mm.
So, yeah, just my personal opinion. I feel we need to find a new captain at some point, and I feel Bigger will start, but Sheedy needs more game time.
Yeah. So out of this list, who do you think could take over from Alwyn Jones as a
Um,
potential captain?
I know Ken Owens is well, he's been captain in the past, and so is Justin Tipperick. Um,
Mm,
but I've always been a fan of Aaron Wainwright, but for some reason he's dipped in form since the Rugby World Cup in 2019. In 2019, he was a quality player. He still is a quality player, but he seems to have changed his game plan. And he's just, I don't know, that quality since the Rugby World Cup just isn't there. And maybe that's something to do with the coaching. I'm not too sure. But going by how he played in that Rugby World Cup, I would have said Wainwright.
yeah, no, I tend to agree with you there. So Aaron Wainwright has been the talk of the town a couple of seasons ago,
Mm,
and he was a potential leader to take over from Alwyn Jones. But obviously, from what we've seen now, it seems like Alwyn Jones is going to the World Cup. So good luck for you guys in that. But he is a quality player, so let's hope they can keep him in that cotton wool
yeah.
and preserve him for the World Cup. Then I think you guys should be okay there.
So, final say on Wales before we go to the next team. Where would you say Wales is going to finish in the Six Nations? And don't feel you have to be biased because I'm here. Because honestly, I would say personally, we'll be lucky to finish top four.
Hmm. Well, it depends. If they win Ireland on this weekend, then the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah.
But if they lose to Ireland in that opening game, they're going to lose to England, they're going to lose to France, and they're possibly going to lose to Scotland. And probably the only team they're going to beat is Italy. So I see a fifth place ending if they don't beat Ireland on
Yeah.
this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. So we basically agree with each other on that one. All right.
Yes.
Moving on, we've spoken enough about Wales. I think we spoke about for about 10 minutes. Island squad. Okay.
Yeah, but
So,
before we go to Island Squad, I need to refill my glass, and I don't have my bottle with me, Andrew.
you need Guinness now. We're talking about Island.
Yeah, so let me go and refill my glass just really quickly
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
and smoke while I refill. Yeah. So you're gonna have to send me this Six Nations clip for my channel as well.
Yeah. So literally, when I edit all this and stuff, what I can do is if I upload it straight away, and then if you want, you can clip it. Do you want to do it that way? Because I know there's like converters online. You can like download the video and clip it, or would you rather me do it?
No, you can send me the whole thing. Otherwise, it's gonna make it hard for you to.
Okay.
It's gonna
Yeah.
make unnecessary work for you.
Yeah. No. Okay. That's fine. Okay. So Island squad.
Wait.
Can't be judged by the online community now. Come on.
Now you're going to cut this out.
Yeah. I will. Yeah. Okay.
Right, let's go.
Okay. So you've refilled your drink. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay. So Island squad. To me, standout players will probably be Van der Fleer, obviously Bundy Aki as well. Jonathan Sexton captain. I still feel as well, kind of like with Wales, Ireland need to start finding another captain. Jonathan Sexton is getting on a bit now, and I feel like as well, because like with the Wales squad, okay, this is why we're referencing it, because obviously me being a Wales fan. So when Shane Williams was in his prime, obviously he was like the best player. Same with Jonathan Sexton. Nobody was going to pick him. Nobody was going to pick anybody else over that player. Okay. But once obviously they start getting on a bit, there's still quality, but you need to start finding newer players. Then now Shane Williams actually retired from international duty for that. He wanted to bring in younger players because he feels that they're better than him. So choking on my own whiskey. So would you argue that Jonathan Sexton should really realize that and retire? What do you think?
Man, it's a tough one. I still rate Jonathan Sexton as a quality player.
Mm.
And when you look at the backup that they've got, they don't really. I mean, Billy Burns isn't really your top class player, as well as Ross Byrne. I really don't think that there is any really good talent coming through in Ireland's fly-off engine.
Mm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Jonathan Sexton is still around. And Ross Byrne can do the job, but can he win you trophies? That's the big question.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Like you said, Ireland do need to find a new player, but it's just the case of trying to actually get a good enough one at the moment. You could also argue with Conor Murray. Would you say? Me personally, I would say maybe find somebody else. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean they're getting to that stage where they could become a nuisance rather than something that they really need. So again, when you look at the quality scrum halves that Ireland's got compared to the fly halves that they've got, I think they've got a better group of players that can take over from Conor Murray. So I would say, yeah, maybe Conor Murray can come to an end now, because I mean they've got some really good players, and I've gone through this list, and there's some of the players that's missing here that I don't see here, which I rate quite highly.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're injured or just not picked, but I can't name exactly who it is at the moment. I know there's an Ulster scrum half.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, Jameson Gibson Park for me isn't the solution to Ireland's problem. I think more that Ulster scrum half, I don't know what his name is. I'll have to go and check it quickly.
I mean, to me,
Let's look it up
the
quickly.
three players standing out of the squad here for me would be Jordan Lama or Larmore. I don't know how it's pronounced. Again, it varies. Robbie Henshaw and James Lowe. James Lowe, I think, is looking at a quality player.
Yes, so I've got the guy that I think is going to take over from Conor Murray, and that's John Cooney. So I don't know why John Cooney is not in the squad. Maybe he's injured. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think he's the guy to take over from Conor Murray. So yeah, if I have to look at guys that's going to stand out for me in this competition for Ireland, you got to have a look at Gary Ringrose, quality player.
Yeah.
I mean, they now have James Lowe from a New Zealand born.
Yeah.
Which is looking really good.
That.
Jordan Lamore.
Had to mention that.
Yeah, I had to mention. So I'm just starting. I'm just starting. So yeah, it's Jordan Lamore, Robbie Henshaw, probably CJ Stander, Josh van der Fleer, Bundiaki, another import. So two imports, CJ Stander and Bundiaki. So yeah, those are the ones. And then obviously their props as well. Kane Healy, Tatch Furlong, Andrew Porter, quality players. So
Yeah.
I think, and obviously Ian Henderson is there as well. So they've got that quality players. And there's James Ryan as well now going through this list. So they've got that match winners. And I think that's the difference between Ireland and Wales at the moment, is that Ireland's got actual players that, apart from Jonathan Sexton and Conor Murray, they've got the CJ Stander, they've got the Josh van der Fleer, they've got the James Ryans, which could walk into a World 15 team at any stage.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference between them.
Okay. So Wales versus Ireland prediction. Who's going to win it?
Playing at the Principality, like I say, if Wales can win this game, you'll see a different Wales side. But going by current form, I would probably give this to Ireland.
Same.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. But like I say, if Wales can step up, they can win it. They'll have a great tournament.
Yeah.
But I think Ireland by at least 6 to 10 points.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people in Wales haven't got any hope for Wales. So, yeah, it looks like Ireland is on the cards for us. So, next squad, we have England. So, we got a few.
It's a horrible, horrible display, man.
I know, but I didn't make it. So, so obviously, one of the new players.
Typical.
One of the new players I know is Harry Randall. He's got a lot of potential, and he was also rumored to be in the Wales squad, but chose England for him. So basically, going from my point of view, I would say Ellis Genge is obviously one of the standout ones. Obviously, Maro Itoje as well. Let me just have a look. Sam Underhill used to play for the Ospreys, if you didn't know that, and quality player. Elliot Daly, obviously, arguably one of England's best players. Same as Owen Farrell, George Ford. Obviously, these are the whole squad, to be honest with you. A lot of people are saying England will win this Six Nations. the alcohol is kicking in because I'm starting to stutter. I've noticed. So, so yeah. Your point of view. What's your opinion on this squad, and who are your standout players?
Solid team, solid coach, solid captain.
Mm,
They've got the champion material to do this. I mean, starting from the bottom there, Ben Young's quality scrum half, probably very underrated in England. I tend to feel that they don't appreciate him enough, but I do know Ben Young's very good quality player.
mm,
Anthony Watson, brilliant player. Johnny May, one of the best wingers out there,
mm,
from my point of view. I mean, he's done it all. I
yeah.
think only thing he haven't done is won a World Cup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I had to bring that up as well.
apart from that, he's won everything.
Yeah.
So John May, Owen Farrell actually at 10 this weekend. I don't know if you saw that, but George Ford out of the team for the very first time, not starting the game.
Okay.
So Owen Farrell at 10, it's going to be interesting to see
Mm,
because I do rate him as a centre. Elliot Daly, quality fullback. Billy Vunipola, obviously fantastic number 8.
yeah.
I think he's in the same class as Dwayne Vermeulen for South Africa. And Sam Underhill, obviously fantastic player as well. Um, who else is there? Maro Itoje, probably one of the best locks in world rugby. Jamie George, another underrated hooker.
Mm,
Genge. Then there's Tom Curry, obviously another world-class flanker. I think Sam Underhill, Billy Vunipola, and Curry probably, for me, the best loose forward combination in world rugby at the moment.
mm,
So they've got everything there. They just need to gel together. And I know a lot of people not happy with this England squad because I've been going through social media and a lot of people is asking, where's this player, where's that player? They could pick an alternative England team that could crush this one. I doubt it. I mean, Eddie Jones is a man that knows what he's doing. So this is the best England squad he could have picked, and I think they're going to be hard to beat.
yeah. Same. I don't really fancy our chances against England either. Um, so if you were to say then one team to challenge England, who would you say that would be?
That's starting this weekend. Calcutta Cup, Scotland. I think Scotland is the dark horse of this competition. But if England can get past Scotland this weekend, then the only other threat I really see is France.
Mm, yeah, no, I agree. Because in the Autumn Nations Cup, I don't know if you saw that, England versus France. I think France looked the much better team. Did you see that in the end, the final?
What was that where France picked their third team to
Yeah, so
play England?
France picked their third team, yeah, due to the top
Yeah.
14 clubs recalling the squad players, didn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, just my personal opinion. What a useless competition that was. I mean,
You're just
if
jealous
you
because
if you're a hardcore
you're just jealous because you weren't in
no,
it.
if you're a hardcore rugby fan, what is the point of having that tournament? Goodness gracious, they could have done so much better.
How would you have improved it?
But yeah, useless competition, man.
How would you have improved
What
it?
do I mean? They could have done better.
Yeah,
I would have waited. I would have scrapped that and waited and did like a mini World Cup thing, which would have made a lot more sense having Australia, New Zealand, and Argentina there. I mean,
mm,
obviously, throw out the box, they couldn't compete. But I mean, if you had the All Blacks, Australia, and Argentina thrown into that mix, I mean, it would have made a lot more sense
but
than having
I think
not a rainbow.
the issue was though was to kind of like with COVID, you couldn't travel properly, so they just
Mm,
wanted European teams, and they had Fiji down to the fact that most of the Fijian squad played in Europe anyway. So I think that's what it was.
mm.
But me personally, instead of having Fiji, I still feel they should have picked somebody else like Russia, Spain, or somebody, and just made it a European Cup. What do you think?
Yeah, no, look, like I say, for me, an absolutely useless competition to do. it's almost very similar to this Rainbow Cup we're going to have later this year, or in April, I think. Such a useless competition. But to get back to the question you asked, whether they should have had Spain or Russia, sure. I mean, where does Fiji come from? I mean, they're playing in a competition with Japan and Samoa. So I really didn't see the point of Fiji being part of that competition. Would have made a lot more sense having Spain there, or at least Russia,
because they actually
teams that's part of Europe.
Yeah, we will get back to England in a minute. But like I said, with Fiji as well, I think one of the main issues was because obviously they only played one game in the end, and that was against Georgia. And I think
yes,
that is probably because most of the squad is from different locations. You know, they play for all different clubs. So by merging them all into one squad, considering all their players play all over Europe, some are in England, some are in France, it wasn't exactly the best idea when COVID's going on, was it?
Yeah, no, like I say, stupid competition.
Anyway, back to England. So yeah, standout players for me, like I said, Elliot Daly, Owen Farrell, George Ford, Henry Slate, basically the whole squad, to be honest with you. And I would probably say England favourite to win this tournament again. Would you agree on that?
Watch out for France.
Okay, moving on to the next squad.
If they can string together a third team and be competitive, watch out when they got their full team.
Yeah, but France, well, we'll get on to France in a minute. Okay, so next up, Scotland. We need to try and hurry this up because we are going on for ages. Okay, so Scotland, for me, standout players, Jamie Ritchie, Willem Nell, Hamish Watson, Stuart Hogg, Darcy Graham, Ali Price, Finn Russell, obviously being back in the squad now. I think he did play in the Autumn Nations Cup, I do believe. I could stand corrected for that. But yeah, what a change he has made to the squad, I feel. It was a shame that he went through a spell where he wasn't picked for it due to some incident that he was involved in. But yeah, strong squad. I mean, if it wasn't played in Twickenham between England and Scotland, I do feel Scotland would be favourites to win it. But with it being played in Twickenham, I feel Scotland don't really have a chance. What are your thoughts, Johan?
Oh, I see an almost Safa-like team here, you know.
Again, you've done this. You've done this. You made a dig with every squad now.
Yeah, but it's almost becoming a Southern Hemisphere takeover in this European teams, except for Wales, you know, because Wales are probably the only team. They only steal English players. They don't steal South African players. So, I mean, again, looking at the Scotland team, you've got the likes of Alan Dell, former South African, Ollie Kebble, DPNL. The list goes on. Hugh Jones, Johan van der Merwe, Jaco van der Walt. So you've got a hell lot of South Africans in that mix. And we all know South Africans tend to play really well.
Biased, man. Biased.
Yeah, so but to be honest, having a look at this side, quality all around. I mean, you've got Xander Ferguson, quality player. You've got Johnny Gray, Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson, Rory Sutherland, Stuart Hogg, Hugh Jones, Sean Maitland, Ali Price, Finn Russell, and then obviously Cameron Redpath, who's come through quite nicely. There was quite a big debate about him going into the Six Nations. But I mean, there's enough quality to beat England on a day. They just need to have a little bit of luck on their side.
So, big question now. Well, I don't know if you'll be able to hear this on my mic, but I'll do a drum roll. Can you hear that? Can Scotland win the Six Nations?
Vaguely. Damn it. With my heart, yes, I can. With my mind, no. With my brain, absolutely no way.
Okay.
England and France, just too much quality there.
Yeah, I think I do agree. I mean, most I think Scotland will get to would be probably second place. I think realistically, they're not going to win the Six Nations. Sorry, Scottish fans. I know I'm a few of you, but face the truth. You're better in Wales. Let's just do that. Okay, next squad.
Then they just come back and bite you in the ass.
I mean, if I upload this after the Six Nations games on Saturday, and it's gone the way which we didn't think it was going to go, then we're going to look like a complete idiots. So,
well, what I'm going to do, if Scotland win this competition, I'm going to take this little clip where you just said, sorry, Scotland, and I'm going to play it on my channel and forward it to your channel everywhere.
yeah. And then you just said it yourself, though, that Scotland don't have a chance. So.
Yeah, I know. No, I don't think so.
Okay, Italy. So, to me, standout players, Tommaso Allen. We got Matteo Bellini. Who else have we got? Danilo Fischetti, another good player. Is Padovani being picked? Or my voice just broke. Padovani's not there, is he? No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Varney, obviously a good player as well. Who else we got? Palazzani, Sisi. There are some good players there. Fischetti, I don't know if I've said him as well. Favoretto. Obviously, it's going to take a long time for Italy to kind of gel together. I mean, we've been saying this every year, though. That's the only unfortunate thing about it. Obviously, Parise's gone now as well. There's a few good players that aren't in this squad. So,
yes.
What's your take on it? I mean, personally, I think Italy will be lucky to finish in the top 4. They have potential to get scalps against teams. It's just inconsistency, I think, lets them down. What do you think?
Yeah, I would be very worried if I'm a Welsh fan at the moment, getting that wooden spoon. But yeah, I'm disappointed with the squad, man. I know one of my first videos on YouTube, very amateur video that I did, was saying how I think Italy could be the rising giants of world rugby. And basically, I went off of that 2019 World Cup squad. And from that squad, they were able to, I don't want to lie, I'm talking under correction now, but at least 20 of that 30-man squad could have formed part of the 2023 World Cup. And they looked pretty good at bits and parts in 2019. But I mean, obviously, a lot of them's missing from this squad. My personal favorites here, Tommaso Allen. Carlo Connors, good. Who else is there? Banda has been pretty good for Zebra. And that's probably where my list ends. I don't know what Franco Smith was thinking with this team, because it's a very, very inexperienced lineup.
Yeah, but then you could argue
they're going to get trashed.
But maybe he's trying to gel together a good squad to get for that Rugby World Cup. I know a lot of teams are trying to target that now. But when you're not playing well, surely the priority will be play well first before gelling a squad together.
I knew you were going to say that. That's why I mentioned I had 20 of the 30 players from 2019 that could play in the 2023 World Cup. And I think there's only 3 or 4 of them mentioned in the squad, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so disappointed with them. So again, I see the need to build, but he already got 20 players that he could have taken from the World Cup and build towards 2023.
So
surely he's not going to be there after 2023.
Did you do your research then with all those 20 players from the Rugby World Cup, and then you've seen the squad, you're like, damn. No?
Like I said, it was one of my very first videos. So
okay. I thought you would I thought you would deliberately research these 20 players and then got to this video and then seen the squad and go, damn, none of them were there.
No, Go
Okay.
go and check it out sometime. Like I said, it was one of my very first videos
Yeah.
on my channel. So, like I say, only I think 3 or 4 of these guys are mentioned in the squad.
Yeah. So realistically,
Disappointing.
Italy's target, I would say finish top
Wooden
four.
spoon.
Come
Wooden
on, no,
spoon.
no. You got to say, if you're the coach of this Italian squad, maybe you might have picked different players, but what would be your target? Obviously, you're not going to win the tournament. What would you say realistically?
Guys, I'm Franco Smith. Please don't get humiliated. That's all I'm asking. Try to keep the score under 50. That's all. You know?
No, come on. We got to be fair. Like I would probably say, don't finish bottom of the table, and if you can, push to the top four. Come on.
Got no hope for this team, unfortunately, Andrew. That's just this could come back to bite me in the ass. But
Yeah, going back to what you said to me about the Scottish squad, then if Italy perform well, I'm gonna cut this clip and put it in a video, man, to say
yeah,
what
but
you said.
I think they're gonna get trashed in every game by 20 points or more.
Okay.
So unfortunately, with this squad, no hope.
I'm sorry for Johan's views, my Italian supporters. Okay.
Sorry, I also got Italian supporters, but I think they understand what I'm saying.
I think personally the clubs are better than the national squad. Do you feel?
Yeah, because they can get some other country players into that team as well.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, final squad then we're talking about is France. So,
Ah,
yeah, the good one.
I
So,
love this team.
yeah, so me personally, stand-up players, I'm gonna go through them. So we got Camille Shah, Jean-Baptiste Gros, another good player. Julien Marchand. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing these names right, by the way. Baptiste Pezzenti. Who else? Paul Williams, another good player. There's actually a lot of quality players here. Charles Olivon, Baptiste, I can't even say that one. Guilor, I don't know. Antoine Dupont, Baptiste Serin. Then we got Matthew Jalibert, Julien Delbouy, I think. I used to do French in school, so I shouldn't really be butchering these names, but I feel like I am. Gael Ficou, Verimi Vakatawa. That's not actually a French name, so I can get away with that
No.
one. Arthur Vincent, Damien Penaud, who else? Teddy Thomas, one of my favorite players in the world at this moment. Anthony Boutier, Bryce Doolin, and Thomas Ramos. I feel like I've picked, well, enough to be in a
Almost the whole squad.
yeah. So, who's your standout players? And yeah, just talk about your opinions.
Well, the best player currently in World Rugby is forming part of this squad. So Anton Dupont, world's best scrum half at the moment, ahead of Faf de Klerk and Aaron Smith.
Mm.
It is debatable, but that's how I see it. The best or the player with the best ability to become player of the year is not part of this team, Tamak. I think he's going to be sorely missed in this team.
Yeah, that's the point. What's
He's
happened?
injured.
Oh, okay.
He's
I knew
got
I was missing
a
someone.
fractured jaw.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so disappointing not to have him there.
Mm.
Jolibit, I don't think he's the same quality as Tamak, but I think Dupont can make him look good.
Yeah.
And then obviously Fico and Fakatawa, Peno, Toma, and Ramos, some of my favorites.
Mm.
Forward wise, there's some really hard buggers out here. Aldred, Cross, Oliven, Bernard Leroux, Paul Willemse. The list just goes on, and this is the one team that could beat England for this trophy, I think.
So you think it'll either be England or France to win the tournament then?
Well, it's theirs to lose.
Mm.
So
So you think then this France team is actually better than the English team?
Um,
Go on, yes or no. You can't say maybe. You look like you're about to say maybe.
No, look, that England team is one hell of a team. So I would say they fall just under England,
Mm,
but they could upset them on a day. Depend on the coaching, man.
yeah. So I
All
think
gonna come down to that.
it's kind of gutting as well because like obviously France got Sean Edwards from us as one of their coaches.
Yes.
So it's also quite gutting to see how amazing France have become since leaving that Rugby World Cup in 2019. Do you agree?
I do agree, but then again, you guys have had a couple of years where Wales have been excellent and you guys didn't see it.
That's
So
true.
now suddenly France turned into this magical team and everybody sees Edwards there. So now they know who was the mastermind there.
Yeah, very, very true. So to finish off then our chat about the Six Nations, who will win the tournament? Your prediction right now, not between anybody. You have to say the exact team.
France,
France to win, and why?
yes. They've got the X factor.
Okay, I'm gonna say England, just because on how they've played in the Autumn Cup and last year. So, yeah, England. I think if supporters are there, it's going to be completely different. But realistically, that's not going to happen. Europe's in a bad way. So, yeah, I think we will leave it there. So, let's stop sharing my screen. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It's been a hell of a chat. I think we've been talking for about over an hour now. So, it's been pretty fun. I don't know when this video is going to go out, so it could be after the Six Nations games on Saturday. It's currently Thursday on this recording, or it could also go out on Friday. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Still drinking as well. I'm sorry if I have started slurring. I don't know. I haven't really noticed anything with you. You haven't changed much.
Nah, I'm used to it, man.
You're more giggly. I've noticed so. You're laughing a lot more.
I'm happier.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you all for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and we'll probably see you in next week's video. We're hoping to do a series of this. We're also hoping to do a few live streams on Johan's channel as well, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I have been Andrew, and he has been Johan.
A
And
rugby guru.
oh, Rugby Guru, yeah. The link in his channel will be in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you, and he'll see you in another video. Peace out, guys.
Cheers, guys.